Ann Coulter joining me now to talk about, well, caravans and crisis and, of course, surprise midterm victories and the long overdue exit of Jeff Sessions. Political commentator, best-selling author Ann Coulter, author of Resistance is Futile, How the Trump-Hating Left Lost Its Collective Mind. And we saw more of that on display today. Ann, great to have you with us. Let's start with first the election results. Are you elated? Are you disappointed? What is going on?
I am ecstatic with the election results. I was very nervous. I do like to prepare for the worst, but I didn't want to say it publicly. You can discourage your own side, apparently, but certainly everyone in this studio knows I was not expecting to win Florida. We won both those seats, the governor's seat, the senator's seat. Trump didn't lose. I mean, considering the Republicans haven't done anything, and they don't deserve to win, but on the other hand, America doesn't deserve the Democrats. Yeah, of course I was terrified. You know, the caravan, you were just showing the pictures of it, it reminded me, what do you think if we took a referendum, just, you know, everybody in America can vote. Do you think all the poor people of the world have the right to move here and you have to pay for them? How do you think that would go over? How about a referendum on anchor babies? If you can sneak past Border Patrol and drop a baby, that's it. That baby is a citizen. And we're going to pretend it's in the Constitution. Or sanctuary cities. Why don't Republicans force Democrats to vote on these things? Who cares if we lose? And by the way, I don't think we'll lose. Make them vote. You're supposed to force the other side to take embarrassing votes. Republicans did none of that. Well, we don't have the wall, so we didn't really deserve to win. But I give all credit to Justice Brett Kavanaugh. This is one of many services he has performed for his country. I think that's what was in people's minds, because it is spectacular that we only lost one Senate seat. And footnote, who was that? Oh, one of the signatories to Marco Rubio's amnesty bill, Dean Heller. I'm not particularly sorry to see him go. And then we flipped 4 seats. So for a net loss of,
am I going to get like a second
net
question
gain
here
of
tonight,
3.
or not?
I was just concluding when you interrupted with that point.
Well, forgive me for doing so, but we are constrained by time. And I do want to get you on record about this president now facing a scornful, resentful, and obviously evil-intended Democratic leadership that's about to take control of the House. Do you think he'll find much of a difference between them and, say, Paul Ryan?
Well, what I'm truly hoping is, with the president unable to blame a Republican Congress for not building the wall, he'll remember that, oh my gosh, I'm the commander-in-chief. I have all full authority to build the wall. I'll just do it, which he should do. That would certainly guarantee his reelection. No, I think this is actually a great thing for Trump's reelection. The Democrats, as I think you were saying earlier, even Nancy Pelosi has got to know, okay, we have to control the crazy ones. They can't control the crazy ones. The resistance is going to get even more out of control. Their base is demanding impeachment hearings, more on Russia. We want to see his taxes. And the American people are going to be sitting back saying, can you guys please do something to make our lives better? Please stop talking about Trump's taxes. No, I think this is going to be very helpful to Trump. And as unpleasant as it is, as I suggested in my column today, he just ought to think back to how unpleasant it was for Brett Kavanaugh to be accused of gang rape, because that just guaranteed we flipped 4 Senate seats.
I know you've got a lot to say in that direction, but we're at the end of our time, and I appreciate
I was again right
I know
at
you
the
were
conclusion.
going to give us just a scintillating wrap up there, but
you have a sense of when I'm coming to the end.
You got it. Thanks so much, Ann Coulter, and this is The End. Good to have you with us.